What's going on, guys?
What's up, guys? What's going on? Welcome to episode 14.
We're really,
wow. We're getting somewhere.
Yeah, we are.
It's crazy.
We're going somewhere. We're going places.
Should we just shoot this right off into the fact of the day?
Yeah, let's go right
Let's
off
go
into the
right
fact
into
of the
it. All right, fact of the day, everyone. You're going to love it because I can't even believe this is a real thing. I read the headline to this, and I was like, this can't be what it means.
What do we got?
But here we go.
What do we got?
The inventor of Frisbee golf.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you know the thing where you throw
I know
it into
Frisbee.
the...
Yeah, I used to play Frisbee golf all the time.
Did you really?
I did, yeah.
Oh, nice.
At Green Lakes with my dad. They actually have a Frisbee. Is that at Green? Yeah, it's at Green Lakes, I think. They have a Frisbee golf course there.
Okay, so you might be interested in this because the inventor of Frisbee golf was turned into a Frisbee.
Wait, hold on. Oh, back up a minute.
This is a fact. The inventor of Frisbee golf was changed into a Frisbee. Not with magic, surprisingly. Surprisingly, not black magic. Edward Steady Ed Hedrick. That's a cool-ass name. Edward Steady Ed Hedrick, who invented the game of Frisbee golf, made as one of his dying wishes that his family would cremate him and mold his remains into a Frisbee.
That is, he must have been really passionate
Like,
about
really
what he did. Like,
he's like, I just want to be I want people to throw me around.
I just want to make Frisbees.
I want to be
and when I die, I want to become the Frisbee.
Here's what he said right before he died, reportedly. When we die, we don't go to purgatory.
We become Frisbees.
We just land up on the roof and lay there.
No, what? Oh, what a weird guy.
Now,
how old is that? How old is this guy?
How old? I don't know. It doesn't tell
is
me.
he like Edgar Allan Poe? Fucking old ass fucking...
It's got to be old, right? Oh, actually, it has a... Maybe if I click this, it will give me some more.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah. What's his action?
Into
Memorial...
Memorial...
It gets better.
Oh, discs.
Into Memorial... Oh, yeah,
Well...
This was this recent? Oh, 2002.
Well...
He was 78 years old. And he literally... So yeah,
what,
he created the
18
Frisbee, the Whammo's
ago.
first designs for the modern Frisbee.
Wow.
That's
and
insane.
he was like, I just want that to be me.
Oh, okay. So this gives us more information. He wanted his ashes to be mixed into new versions of the plastic disc sold across
weird.
What if like a little bit was put into every Frisbee they sell in stores now?
That's a lot of ghost parts.
You're like, I'm every disc you buy.
He really did it because he was secretly like a sick bastard, but he knew that if they burned his ashes, that his spirit would go away. So he was like, if I just put it everywhere, they can't get it all.
Right.
That was what he did.
That's what he did. So yeah, he. Oh, okay. They said it started as a joke. For years, he used to joke about saying he wanted to live on as a Frisbee. And they said we always thought he was joking, but
he's like, that thing that we always talked about that you always thought I was joking about?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Yeah, that's serious. It's serious. I want to be a Frisbee. Throw me around.
Oh my god.
I just want my sons to be able to throw my dead body around.
That's amazing. Can I see? I'm wondering if I should go on to this one. Is very similar. So should we also say this one? Should we save it?
Well,
it's very similar.
If it's similar, let's do two.
Let's do it.
The
so,
extra fact.
Extra fact. So, Pringles, the inventor of Pringles.
Sure.
He was buried in a Pringles can. So cremated,
so
put inside.
Weird. What is wrong with people?
I wonder what the flavor was. What was it? It had his name on it.
So weird.
Like fucking old man flavor.
See, I was gonna say
what
that.
If someone in the future finds that and they're like, oh, like in the future they're like, this is one of those.
This
Pringles
must have been one of the most popular flavors. That's
it got so deteriorated that it turned into ashes, and they just like fucking eat it. Oh, it still tastes so good.
Gross. I was gonna say something like that would be like me like wanting my ashes to be put into a painting, but then I was like, that actually sounds pretty cool.
That does sound pretty cool.
Somebody like paints a really fucking dope painting, and you're in the painting forever, immortalized.
Mine is gonna be a magic kit, but it's just my body parts.
But then you're gonna come back to life and scare people.
My body like forms back together. And you're like stitched together, animated.
Or you're like you have it so you like your body like springs out of your coffin on like a thing, and you're like but you're still dead.
Oh, that'd be great. Genius.
Fantastic.
Dude, what? Okay, hold on. Is this whole thing like?
Just ashes.
Yeah, look
it's all about
literally
that.
the next one is Coffee Pioneer was buried in a coffee pot. Like,
it's all
everyone.
about.
If you invent something, apparently you just
Every article you found is just people wanting to be cremated into things.
That's fucking
That's
great.
cool though.
That is.
Neat.
So I also wanted to get into to start things off. I wanted to get off.
Yeah, I wanted to.
I wanted to fucking get off.
Wanted
all right?
to jerk off.
on camera.
So
I need this. It's been a while.
help me out here.
Here we go.
All right.
We're gonna do this together.
Anyway,
I wanted to talk about lucid dreaming because we
had
our
a
last episode we talked about
yes.
that
I see.
astral projection.
What was?
Yeah, what's that? So
That's what I was.
we had someone comment.
Upward spiral.
Upward
yes.
spiral. He commented on our episode.
Our previous episode. Yep.
About lucid dreaming. It was really about astral projection, but then it turned into lucid dreaming and how it's like a gateway to do it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
And you said
that.
you do lucid dreaming, right? Like you've done it?
Yeah, I've had. Well, so I don't know. You know, I'm not like an expert by any means,
Right.
but I feel like I have had a couple of lucid dreams. The one of them I described to you last episode is the one where with the end of the world dream that I described to you.
Right.
That one I feel like was a lucid because it was
Lucid.
so real, like unbelievably real.
Yeah.
Not lucid dreaming in the sense that I have control over it, like I can go do whatever I want. Is that
I've had that and done that.
Okay,
That's what they
'cause-
consider lucid dreaming.
Oh, okay, so that's lucid. I was gonna say, is that what it is? Because
Yeah.
I don't know. Then
It's where you
there
take
probably
control.
is still a couple dreams because I remember this one dream I had. It was like a really short dream, and I could. I remember feeling like I was pretty much in control, and I was flying around like Superman.
Yeah, yeah.
And my so-called enemy at the time, it was just this guy I didn't like. I remember
piece of shit.
spotting him from space, like
Whoa.
as my Superman
Yeah,
self.
you're like looking down.
And I flew down at like Mach 8 into him, like crashed into him and just destroyed him.
Disintegrates him. He just
And I was just like,
Superman.
yeah, Superman.
Superman.
They're like, why do you sound like that? This is my dream.
I can sound however I want.
Lucid dreaming.
Yeah, so like lucid dreaming, that's kind of how it is you it's like the bridge between being awake and being asleep. So you're controlling your dream, and you can literally, it's when you just understand, you're like, wait, I'm asleep right now, I'm dreaming, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. I've had that before a couple times, and it's great when it happens because it just feels like you can do anything, because you can like fly, like you said, you can do anything. And you know, a lot of people do recommend it, but here's why I don't recommend it personally. This is why I think it's dangerous. Not into the sense where you're ever going to get hurt or you're going to die or anything, but lucid dreaming, this is something where if you practice it, because there's a lot of people that attempt to do it and they just keep trying to do it and keep trying to do it.
Sure.
So what can happen is it can trick your brain into thinking that you are asleep and you're dreaming, but really you're awake. And what happens is something called sleep paralysis. Have you ever heard of that?
I have, actually. Our mutual friend, Rissa, has sleep paralysis. I think from what she's told me. So,
yeah. So basically, I didn't believe this, but I learned about sleep paralysis from someone, and I started researching it, started looking it up.
It's spooky shit, man.
It's really
spooky shit.
And if you look into it, the more you look into it and research it, the more likely it is to happen to you, which I did not believe.
That's weird.
Until I researched it one day, and literally 2 nights later, it happened to me. And I started learning about sleep paralysis, and
so it's gonna happen to you now.
it might, yeah. And everyone watching this learning about
and all of us.
So if you ever look at old Renaissance paintings of nightmares, the term nightmare came from this, because there's so many paintings, and it's like usually called the nightmare or whatever.
Actually, yeah. After you're done, I have something to go off of.
Yeah.
That,
So you'll see a lot of paintings, and it shows like this creature like on their chest, and it's looking.
Oh yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Yeah. And it's like going down, and it's like it's looking at them, and then there's two kinds of sleep paralysis. They say.
Yes.
There's the feeling where you feel like something is on your chest and it's like pressing down on you, and you can sometimes see something. The other one is where you have this feeling that there's something on the other side of the room that's like coming closer to you, and you can't stop them. Because sleep paralysis is essentially when you wake up but your body is still in sleep mode. So you're not in control of your body. You can't move anything. Mm-hmm. The only thing you can move, I think, kind of, is your eyes, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
But you can't. The reason they say they feel something on their chest is because you can't control your breathing.
Right.
Which is terrifying.
Freaky,
you can't talk. You can't speak. So yeah, it's
very
insane.
Freaky. What was your dream about?
So what happened to me, and this is what made it 10 times worse for me, I think, is it was one night, I was 19 years old, and my now wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, she was sleeping over, and basically what happened is I remember going to sleep, and then all of a sudden I was up, my eyes opened, and I could move my eyes, so I looked over, and my girlfriend was laying right there next to me. Like, I could see her right next to me.
Oh, that's weird.
But I was freaking out because...
It wasn't her?
No, it was her.
Oh, it was her.
It was her.
I was like, this is going to be so scary.
No, it was 100% her.
Okay.
But I couldn't talk, couldn't control my breathing. And it was the worst feeling ever, because then I remember looking the other way in the room, and the room's dark. And I remember just vividly feeling like I was going to die. Like, this is it. Someone's in the room about to murder me. And I couldn't look at them, but I could feel like someone was coming closer.
Feel their presence.
And closer.
That's pretty
and
creepy.
Closer. And what made it so bad is that I could see Haley right next to me, but I couldn't say her name, and I couldn't say help.
Couldn't say anything.
So it was just I was stuck there, unable to move, and it honestly it was the most terrifying experience of my life. I thought I was going to die.
That's spooky.
100% thought I was going to die.
I've never experienced that. So
they say that the average person experiences it twice in their lifetime.
All right. Well, hopefully not anytime soon. Hopefully I'll be old and senile.
But they say that if you practice lucid dreaming, you'll have a much higher chance of experiencing it. And some people want to experience it, but I'm like, fuck that. I never.
That's I always see those memes. That's me and my sleep paralysis demon or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So funny thing you mentioned the creature.
Yeah.
That is actually called an ALP. ALP.
Nice.
And it's a creature of German folklore. Because for those of you who don't know, I used to do cryptozoology as sort of a hobby. I actually have I have a couple books filled with creatures and illustrations.
Super interesting.
That I do. Or did. It was years ago, but I've been kind of trying to get back into it when I have the time. Anyway, so it's called an ALP, and it's a German folklore creature. It's sort of like an imp, but not or a demon. I think people consider it a demon. Is it like
the gray looking? It almost looks like a gargoyle, but not really. Tiny.
It is, yeah. If I had my book, I would show you what I drew for it. But yeah, it's sort of like a tiny, furry, looking gargoyle.
Yeah.
And what the ALP does in folklore is, sits on your chest in the middle of the night and then gets heavier and heavier until its victims can't breathe and they die, supposedly.
Right.
But that legend was based off of sleep paralysis
which makes sense
when they didn't know what it was.
Because I'll tell you what, if this happened to me, if I was in medieval times and this happened, I would have 100% thought this was a fucking demon.
100% a demon.
There would be no question in my mind.
Imagine the doctors back there yep, you've got a demon.
That's a demon. You're fucked.
So,
it's going to happen to you every night.
But
no!
The ALP also has a top hat and a monocle. So
nice.
Take it with a grain of salt, I guess.
That's mine had that.
And an evil eye.
It was the Peanut from.
It was Mr. Peanut haunting
coming
me.
Closer and closer. Oh, doesn't the Pringles can guy have that? It was the Pringles inventor. Doesn't he have a monocle and a mustache? Maybe I'm remembering that wrong.
No. Are we being are we being fooled?
Is this a fucking Mandela effect? I don't know.
Yeah, is the Pringles can you're talking about?
Yeah, doesn't the head?
Didn't we just
Doesn't he
looked
have-
at it?
Yeah, we did.
Did he have it?
I don't know.
Oh
Exit
my
off
God,
of
go
it.
find out. Now
Here
I'm
we
freaking
go.
out.
It's the ghost of Pringles and Frisbee
The ghost
Man.
of Pringles past.
The ghost of Pringles past. Here we go. We're gonna find out. I thought he has a monocle, but no,
Oh
he doesn't.
my God, he doesn't have one.
He
We
does-
got
What is
Mandela.
hold on. I might have to. What is this? Why is there a man? There's a Pringles can.
Like hugging himself.
Yeah,
That's weird.
That's terrifying.
Well, anyway.
He has a bow tie, so that's cool. But no monocle. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Mr. Peanut does.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So anyway, 10 out of 10. No, 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Sleep
Would not
paralysis.
recommend. No,
No,
not fun.
because
Not a good
again,
time.
I would have thought that was a demon. I know what sleep paralysis is, and I thought it was a demon. Like,
That's pretty. Yeah, that's spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got some. Moving on. We've got some Reddit stuff for you today.
good old Reddit. Good old Reddit.
With our Immoral Mortals Reddit account, I posted on Reddit and asked people to ask us strange questions.
Oh,
We didn't get a lot of them,
Oh,
but
I was like, we must have so much.
no, there's not that many, but
No.
they're good ones. The ones that people did answer.
That's good though.
The first one by what's his name, Domin8U315. Nice.
Shout out.
Why are people drawn to a particular fetish?
Huh.
Why do you think that is? So the most popular, I feel like, when fetish comes to mind,
Foot
is
fetish?
feet to me.
Yeah.
Like when that comes to mind. Why do you think people have a foot fetish?
That's a good question. Well, I'm trying to think of like any fetishes I have, and I'm like, why am I drawn to that?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. What fetishes do I have?
Right?
I don't even know.
I'm very like, I feel like I have everything.
I like everything.
I'm like,
Yeah, I love
fucking
it all.
Give it to me. I don't care. Whatever.
So
I like weird shit. I'm into
I
it.
feel like for me, most of mine, because I like almost everything too, and for me, I feel like that's because I was introduced to it at a young age. I
Yeah.
feel like so I was just like,
Bro, same.
and I think at that time I watched a lot of the same thing, and I never really branched out.
Right.
But then I did because I didn't know there was other stuff besides
Bro, I started.
lesbians. You know.
There's other things. I actually started on anime porn. Like that.
Oh, on hentai.
Yeah, on hentai. That's how I started. And I don't remember how. I was probably like cartoon boobs. Like that came
Yeah.
up at a young age.
Well, for me, I'd be watching a show, and that would I'd be
Yeah,
like, all
like,
right, is there
There's some
porn on
good Teen
that?
Titans.
There
I'm
is
telling
some
you
good-
what right now.
Anyway.
So fetishes. I don't know. I really like fishnets. Is there a reason? I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah, and I
don't
yeah,
know. I don't know
that's-
why that's something that really I'm into.
Yeah, I
But
feel
it
like
is.
I feel like sometimes when a girl is or whoever your sexual preferences is
Yeah.
wearing something, that makes it better.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
opposed
yeah.
to being naked, because it's like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
always naked, you know,
Right,
with
right.
each other usually.
Yeah.
But then when they're wearing something, it's like, oh, that's
like, oh,
different. That's
shit.
new. Like that really puts it together for me.
But foot fetishes? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand.
I don't get that. My guess, if I had to guess, damn, I don't even know.
Right,
I
because
mean,
there's some fetishes I can understand, like where they might come from. Like maybe a kid,
Right.
like maybe like there's that weird ass baby fetish where like.
Oh wait,
wait,
hold on. What are you, Dan Harmon? Oh,
Oh, boom, bobbity boop. No, not
You
like that.
fucking,
The
what's her
one,
face?
the one where it's either the guy or the girl, and they dress up as a baby, like a big baby, and they act like a baby.
Oh, you're
and they-
talking about little fetishes.
Yeah.
So
That I can understand. Like maybe they have, they weren't cared for as a baby.
yeah,
or,
there's
like,
something. So that was what I was gonna say with a foot fetish. Is the only thing I can think of is your brain tends to make mental associations with things that have happened in your past.
Right.
So maybe a foot fetish guy, maybe they're,
Maybe someone accidentally rubbed their foot against.
or maybe they
junk.
just have a lot of experiences. Like they happened to be, what's the word? horny. While there
I
was
was expecting a very like scientific word.
while
like
there's a
horny.
lot of I tried to think of one. I was like, I give up. But yeah, maybe they were just aroused. Thank you.
There it is.
Maybe they were just aroused when there was like feet in the picture somewhere along the way, and then they made that association in their brain, like feet means boner, and then
Right.
I don't know.
It's odd. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't really have the answer to it.
I don't have the answer either.
No.
So this next question, we're gonna have to.
Oh no.
We're gonna have to take a video for an ad to the podcast.
For an ad to the podcast?
No, to add to the podcast.
To add to
This is Ligament Person 45.
Oh, all right.
Thanks, Ligament
I
Person.
can already username checks out.
Is it possible to drink water from your own belly button? If you were able to fill if you were able to fill your belly button with water, would you be able to somehow, without using your hands, drink said water?
What?
So, want to try it?
Have you practiced this?
No.
Like, I don't think it's possible.
You don't think so?
No.
We got to try.
I guess, yeah.
We got to try it out.
To.
I have to give it a solid. We have to give it a go around.
We do.
All right. So let's
our Spotify listeners are just going to hear like some weird.
What the fuck?
I don't know what's going to happen.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. It won't be a break for you. It'll just go right to it. But
the magic of editing.
I'm going to try and drink water from my belly button today, folks. All right. Ready?
Here we go.
Oh, it's so cold.
Oh, God. Oh, it's just dripping down. Yeah, what are you going to do?
I think I can do it. No, I'm not even
oh!
Did I get it?
No. Oh, every time. Oh, it's going from both sides.
I don't like it.
All right, this might work. Yeah. Hey, now we're talking. Eh? Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Oh, hang on. No. Oh, it's so close.
It was.
Shot it out of your mouth onto your dick.
I'm not in shape. My stomach's tensing too much.
You could try the double straw. Oh, God. Try it with this.
All right.
Hang on.
How are you going to drink it with your shirt on?
Well, I'm going to pull it. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Oh. Jesus.
Are you sure you want to do this out here?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So. Oh man.
Is it?
Oh!
It's so gross looking.
All right.
Because it's like
Here
wet.
we go. We're just gonna.
Oh! Did you get it?
I got some in my mouth.
Hey, you did it.
I did
Your
it.
technique worked. Woo!
Oh. It's all over.
Wow. Well, there you have it.
There it is.
There you have it. Ligament Person 45. It is possible.
I hope that answers your question. It is very possible.
Dustin, the magician, made it possible.
I made it happen
Using
with my
magic.
big ass belly button. It's fucking huge.
I thought you were like, with my big ass. I was
With
like,
my
all right.
big ass. My badonka-donk.
So, moving on to our third and final Reddit question. If goose can be geese, why not moose meese?
Fair enough.
I actually was going to draw a picture of a goose body with a moose's head, and I forgot to.
Well, you can just imagine it.
You can imagine that.
Imagine that. A goose, meese, and moose. And
why not?
you know, it's a good point though.
What
because
are moose called?
Just
Are they just
mooses?
moose together? Are they mooses?
Mooses? What's the plural?
What's a
of
flock of moose?
What is a flock of moose? You know, it's a good point though, because like mouse is mice, geese, goose.
A group of moose. Oh, a herd. That's really boring.
Wow, it's just a herd.
Some jokingly use the word meese
Meese.
based on goose and geese. It should be meese, right?
I think so. Let's just make that a thing. I declare that a group, a flock of moose.
Look at that flock of meese.
Some
Just
meese
sounds
over there.
wrong. Honestly, that whole question sounds like a fucking like a Riddler joke.
It sounded like a Riddler.
Ooh, if goose is geese, why not moose meese?
Riddle me this, Batman.
He's like, I don't know.
Hold on.
I don't understand the question. Can you repeat
What does
the
this have to
question?
do with anything?
That's a good one. So shout out to our 3 commenters
Good
on
job,
our
Reddit.
Reddit post.
Good job, Reddit.
That was interesting.
I love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Jack Sparrow. Alrighty. So, speaking of weirdness, Dan Harmon rapes kids. No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't rape kids.
Dan Harmon.
No. So everybody, I'm assuming, most people have heard about Dan Harmon's, what was it, 15-year-old skit where he...
Yeah, 2009.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't seen it, yeah, you can watch it. It's like a minute long. It's like a minute-long skit.
I don't know if you want to, but you should.
Yeah, it's pretty disturbing. But Dan Harmon does a parody of Dexter, where he
which I didn't know. I've never watched Dexter,
right.
so I didn't even know
So
that.
he
So I wouldn't even
has-
have got that.
In this parody, he's somebody. What's his name? Daryl or whatever.
Yeah.
But he has sex with a baby, and
Pretty
it's
graphically.
Pretty. Yeah,
Pretty
that's,
graphic.
you don't even really have to imagine it to know that it's fucked up.
You see his entire ass.
Yep.
And it was a skit about, I guess, like you said, what's it called? The show?
What?
The Dexter.
Dexter.
So it was about
yeah.
that. And he's like pitching it to saying, he's saying like, oh, this is something I pitched to Showtime, and like it's gonna be a little intense for normal people. So it's clearly a skit that's supposed to be like over the top,
It's supposed
ridiculous.
to be, yeah.
But like even usually I'm on the fence with those kind of things. Like I'm like, you know what? You have like things that are jokes, but like that are just like clearly to get like this what the fuck reaction. But that was a little over the top, even for me. Like even for me,
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, why would you do that? It's cringy.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, he must have known while he was doing it, like, this is going to be a thing in my career one day that's going to come. I mean,
this is probably gonna come back.
I mean,
to
did
me.
you got to know that. Like,
Yeah, I'm betting when it leaked, he was probably like, oh, yeah, fuck.
well, the funny thing is it's leaked multiple times throughout the 15
Oh,
years.
really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I didn't know that.
Like, people have, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't really make sense. Because we talked about cancel culture, and
Yes.
what was it, our last episode or
Yeah.
the episode before? I don't know. It was the episode before, I think. But we talked about cancel culture, and kind of like, just because somebody has done something this long ago, does that mean they deserve to be condemned now?
Right.
Does it depend on the person? So on and so forth.
Right. Because all I'm saying is, like, if people had recordings of me when I was, like, if, like, in high school, like, I'd be fucked. Like, but then you can compare that, say, like, I was young at the time. But, like, I don't know. It's just...
Well, there's a certain level of immaturity that goes along
Yes.
with it. Of course, Dan Harmon's a grown man.
Yeah.
So yeah, my main gripe with it was like Dexter is. And by the way, may I say, like when I was watching it, I actually thought his impression of Dexter, like in his head, like the narrating voice, was
Yeah.
actually. I was like, that sounds like Dexter,
right.
actually. But no, but Dexter is a murderer and not. He has nothing to do. He actually kills people who are like pedophiles. And
Right.
stuff like So it's kind of weird. I don't know where he drew the association to do that. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I feel like I see where he was trying to go with it, where it would be funny.
Yeah, I think what he was doing, because at the end there, he's like, some people think I'm a monster. And I
Yeah.
think he was trying to say, like, yes, clearly he is a monster because he's fucking a baby. like,
Right.
And trying to
And
rationalize
that actually
it.
brings up an interesting point. Is so many people, like girls especially, love Dexter, even though he's like a fucking serial killer, murderer.
Yeah.
So like, who's to say
It's like
that
a Ted
that's-
Bundy kind of thing.
Is that even? Yeah, is that even really any better than what Dan Harmon was impersonating?
true.
But on the opposite point, Dexter only kills like evil, like bad people,
Right.
which I think, although he did kill a few innocent people, I think on accident throughout the series of the show, because he
Oops.
thought they were bad and then they weren't, and then he was like, "It's too late, I already did
So
it."
I saw a post that was comparing. The big thing right now is, should Rick and Morty be canceled because Dan Harmon had some creative control on there?
I think that's an absolute no. For me.
Yeah, that's a no from me too.
that's
And
not-
it's first of all, yeah, he's part of the creative process of
I've heard
Rick
that
and
he
Morty.
hasn't even had a lot of involvement.
There's that thing going around, but I guarantee that's completely wrong, because if
Yeah,
you
it
look
probably
here's the thing, if you look at Justin's who does the voice
Justin
of,
Roiland.
yeah,
Yep.
he does the voice of Rick and Morty. If you look at his comedy, it is so fucking left field, like weird as fuck. Like nothing put together. It's like very random.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas Dan Harmon's is very it's like more thought out. It's usually has like a meaning behind it.
Right,
Which I know this video of him fucking a baby kind of doesn't show that.
Yeah.
But no, he does. His is a little more sophisticated.
A little bit, yeah. Although, yeah, well, I don't know, because I do enjoy Harmon Quest, like, because
Right,
we're
yeah.
both, we love D&D,
D&D.
and yeah, he does Harmon Quest, and I think it's really funny, honestly.
It is really funny.
Um,
So if you look at both of them separately, they have completely different comedy styles. But when you put them together, you realize, like, okay, you can see where Dan's comedy is coming into Rick and Morty, and you can see where Justin's comedy is coming into Rick and Morty.
yeah,
and that's what makes it
people
good.
actually have like sort of opposing views about this. I was seeing that some people don't really like Dan Harmon's parts, and some people don't like Justin Roiland's parts. It's really just, but yeah, you can usually tell the difference.
Exactly.
But this brings up, based on this recent happening, I decided to ask Reddit another question. And this is a little more serious question. Okay, so I asked this. Oh shit! Did I really not take a picture of the question?
Oh, actually, one more point I was gonna bring up. So another post I was seeing was saying that there's other shows too that should be canceled, and like saying that so Rick and Morty should be canceled along with Family Guy, South Park, and
I was gonna say there's a lot of crass and offensive shit
There's
on
another one.
both of those shows,
because they were saying in Family Guy you have the old man who is always trying to molest Chris.
And that's like a normalized thing. Like people are like,
Exactly.
that old fucking pedophile.
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
like
and really it's just supposed to be that funny kind of like it's fucked up. But it's a similar kind of parody. It's like, okay, you're kind of normalizing this fucking.
Sure, I think where people went wrong with, like, I think with his, it was a little further because he just, like, they didn't cut it or anything.
Yeah,
Like, if it were Family Guy, they would have cut away and you would have just heard, like, noises or something.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
weird noises.
It was very graphic.
Which still would have been far, but yeah, they just straight up just showed him doing it.
Yeah, he
Like,
went far.
granted, it was a doll, but it's still kind of weird.
It was
you know?
weird. It was weird. It was cringy.
I just feel like for that, like I said, that was my gripe with it, is that if it's Dexter, why are you impersonating somebody that Dexter would be killing? You know what I mean?
Right.
It just didn't add up to me.
And then the other part was, to me, it kind of upset me, was South Park. They're saying someone was comparing it to, there's an episode in South Park. I know you don't watch South Park, right?
No, I don't.
So there's a part in South Park, or an episode, where Kyle's little brother, who's like 4 years old or something, the whole episode, he's having a sex relationship with a teacher who is a female. So
Sure.
she's his teacher. And that was like, their point was like, oh, she's like molesting this young child. But that was the entire point of the episode, was commentary on the fact that, Kyle finds out about this and he's like, this is fucked up. Like, this shouldn't be happening. And he goes to the police and he's like, my little brother, he's being molested by his teacher. And they're like, oh, like the police are like, oh my God, who is it? And then Kyle explains it's the girl, like the hot teacher.
Yeah.
And they're like, nice. And the cops don't do anything. And that was the point. It was a social commentary. That's the whole episode.
That's a lot of what I've heard and seen from South Park is like, it's like political
They're
satire.
very political, like commentary on double standards. Like saying, like, if it was an old man, the people would be like, yo, what the fuck? But when you hear about a 13-year-old that has sex with their teacher,
and you
like,
hear a lot of guys who are
nice.
like, I wish that was me.
I wish that was me.
I mean,
And it's fucked up.
Yeah.
But anyways.
No, yes. So Reddit, based on the whole Dan Harmon thing, I decided to ask this on Ask Reddit. I said, what's your opinion on cancel culture? Should someone be condemned for something they did, even if it was over decades ago? Why or why not?
Nice.
And we got some interesting comments. First one by Sporkchop24. I would say this depends on the thing. Sexually assaulted someone? Yeah, you're a piece of shit. made an inappropriate comment. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you've grown out of this mindset. And then this person replied, I remember seeing a comment that was like, no one is the same person they are 10 years ago because the guy sexually assaulted a child therefore he should not be charged. Wait, what? Wow. Imagine if that was a thing in law. You assaulted a child. I don't care if you did it 10 years ago. That was a goddamn child.
Yeah. No, I agree.
No, I think there's a line. So this is where I like, and the person that replied said, the original poster of that comment said, I think that there are some circumstances where it just doesn't matter what happened afterwards. I don't care how much someone has changed. Some things are not forgivable. I absolutely agree.
And that'd be like if Hitler like kept going and
then
he was like I take
actually,
it all back.
It really wasn't my fault.
He's like, I've changed. And you're like, you killed 6 million people, so.
Yeah, so it's and then to your point, a human cat post 2 said, depends on these names. Depends on the act or the age of the person. If a 16-year-old said something racist online like 8 years ago, that's not grounds to be canceled. Right. If a 60-year-old said something racist 10 or 20 years ago, that might be grounds. Really depends on whether you think that person has changed. Obviously, if adult people who know better are doing problematic shit in the here and now, that's another story, and it can be rightfully career-ending.
Right.
But in the here and now is...
The here and now, like literally right now. Like if Dan Harmon
But in the here and now...
If Dan Harmon were to be like, fuck you guys, I love that video. You know what? Like, I'm going to do it again. And he just does another video of him fucking a baby. I'd be like, all right. You're canceled. Like, you're a piece of shit. But I guarantee he's probably going to apologize. I don't know if he has already. He probably has.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, what I was going to say is the here and now is kind of subjective because at the time for him, it was the here and now. You know what I mean? So, and he was an adult.
Right.
So... I don't know. It's kind of this
But
person said no because people change. This person said, of course not. What we did years ago is not who we are now. I've done crunchy stuff.
Crunchy.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. That's an interesting.
I've done some stuff.
Crunchy shit, bro.
When I was a teen.
Like peanut butter.
I've done crunchy stuff when I was a teen, but that was years ago. We grow up and we learn from our past. And then things along the same.
But here's also the thing: is you have to take in, like you said, here and now, but you have to take into account the time period. 2009
is a different climate.
Was a totally different climate. Like now, everything is super PC and criticized and like whatever. But back then in 2009, it didn't matter if you were a kid or adult. Like people did some offensive shit and like it seemed more normal. And if you compare that to, that's kind of like saying, okay, if we were to let's imagine that people in the medieval times, they lived forever or whatever. Like they could live in, and like if they were going throughout history and right now, let's say they were here now in our time.
They would
we'd
be
all
like,
bro,
condemned
like you
as
fucking
rapists and pedophiles.
Yeah, like you raped people.
Most kings married like 12 to 14-year-old girls. Yeah.
That
was like a normal thing. People don't really think about that.
Right.
Which obviously is in today's climate is
wrong.
super weird and wrong. Yeah.
Super
You'd
illegal.
Be like, you're
very illegal.
Very, very, very illegal.
Super illegal. Only cool people understand
but
that
we meet on the roof of the Rockefeller Hewitt building.
Only cool people understand that reference.
Yeah. So.
What? Actually, you know what? Whitest kids you know, they would be like,
a lot of their
up shit.
Yeah, they have.
They like graping people. That commercial.
Come here, kids! I'm gonna grape you. It's like, I'm gonna tie you to the radiator and rape you. No, I'm going to rape you. Oh God.
Oh,
that's such a good. See, that's funny though. I don't know.
See,
I feel
different climate.
Yeah,
different climate.
I don't know. I feel like that wasn't as offensive for sure as compared to Dan Harmon.
Because
like
Dan Harmon's is cringy.
In there, okay, not that it makes it okay. Well, yeah, actually was a kid in that. But he was saying grape, and that was like the whole joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But my personal opinion, I think, I don't know. I think Dan Harmon, he doesn't seem like it was done like he doesn't seem like a malicious person. I don't know him at all, so this is just my, you know what I mean?
Right.
He doesn't seem like a malicious person. I think the skit was a bad idea. I think it,
Yes.
if he really has changed, I think that was like a really hard left turn that he shouldn't have made along the way.
Yeah.
And
Like, just a bad
but
skit.
he has apologized multiple times for it, even in the
he
before
has.
now.
Okay.
Before now. And yeah, and even Adult Swim knew about it actually when they aired Rick and Morty, and they're like, "Hey, unless you like, I mean, are you, we saw this. We're not going to air your shit if this is the kind of comedy you're going to bring in the show." And he was like, "No, like that was forever ago. I'm sorry, and it's not who I am now, and blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And so,
I agree with a lot of those commenters on Reddit that like it literally depends on the situation, who the person is, like have they shown change.
And you know what? It's up to you if you want to forgive him. It's not anybody else's decision but yours. If you don't feel like that he deserves that, then that's absolutely a go ahead for you to not to say fuck you.
Right.
I'm right in the I'm right in the I don't like I think he just made a mistake. I think he just made a big.
Here's my problem. But when we come to going back to cancel culture, this I've been thinking about a lot lately. If we like to say, well, when we were kids, we were immature, but an adult should be able to know the difference, whatever, blah blah. But think about the cancel culture. Majority of the people canceling right now are kids, are people in high school, younger. They're all over
like,
Twitter.
This is inappropriate.
They're like, you're done. Like, they're canceled. Their career's over.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but we're letting kids
decide what we're doing
but
now.
we're saying that the kids are too immature. It's like, it doesn't really add up.
That's true, yeah.
It's kind of like, come on, we can't. Cancel culture is so dumb. Everyone's going to find something offensive from someone. No one is perfect, and everyone makes mistakes, and, you say some offensive shit, and you learn, and you're like, fuck. But then there's people that don't, and those people are the people that should be, like, fucking...
And that was another comment, actually, was this person said, let's see, they should not be condemned for something they did decades ago. Cancel culture is inherently evil and wicked and needs to be stamped out.
Wow.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, that was like a really hard stance on it.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't enjoy cancel culture. I think it's a trend, and I don't like that.
Yeah, it is a trend. I think people who deserve to have their shit taken away will have their shit taken away.
Right, yeah.
I mean, should. I should say should, because
although we do have a president.
Doesn't always. Yeah, our president of the United States is a rapist.
That's I like to use him as an example of people when I say, like, okay, if you look at them in the past and they were bad, and then you look at them now, but he's still
always
doing
been a piece
the
of shit.
Like he's still like the Maxwell thing.
Yeah.
Epstein's, he's like, I wish her well.
He's still a scumbag.
You should be like, she's a terrible person, but
So yeah, I think in the case of Dan Harmon, it to each their own. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I can see both points of view.
Same,
I could
same.
absolutely see why you wouldn't like him anymore, because it was fucked up. Like,
Right.
obviously,
Right. It was fucked up.
People wouldn't be talking about it unless it was fucked up.
Right.
But
and I get that.
and on the other side, if you're somebody who believes in that somebody's changed and they can be forgiven for something, depending on what it is, then maybe say, hey, whatever, that was years ago, that was 15 years ago.
Right.
Either way, I mean, that's up to you. So.
Yeah. And I think it does come down to that point of, like, some people just, they believe that people never do change. And I think some people are very adamant in that.
Because for me, like, I was definitely, I used to, like I said, I like Harmon Quest and I like Rick and Morty. So, like, when I saw it, I was actually really disappointed. I was like, oh.
Yeah, same.
Jeez.
Same.
It's like, that's.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Why are you Krillin?
Oh, yeah, I did
like
turn into Krillin.
You're a bridged Krillin.
Oh.
He's like, who the fuck are you? No.
Little piece of shit.
Yeah, so I don't know. To each their own.
Someone did make a really good point, though, too. I was watching it, and because they were like, someone was saying that Rick and Morty didn't have any hint of pedophilia or anything super offensive, and I'm like, well, there was that one part where the SpongeBob voice actor was a jelly bean and tried to rape Morty.
But he's a jelly bean, so
That's someone was like, he was a jelly bean. I was like, a grown adult jelly bean. It's like the most graphic part of that show. He's like, oh yeah, get over here. And he literally like pulls his pants down and tries to rape him.
yeah.
And then like gets the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Rick and Morty, in terms of like offensive content, is actually pretty low on the scale. I feel like
You
though.
think so?
Compared to like Family Guy and like
Yeah.
South
I
Park
think the
type
difference
shit.
is that Rick and Morty is more.
It's more like stupid humor.
Yeah.
Well, logic. What were you
we
gonna say?
both just said like two different. It's like it's
Opposite
stupid,
things.
logical. No, I
It's
think
both.
There
yeah.
is, yeah. There's a lot of stupid random shit, and then there's also a lot of like intense moments that are sometimes can be emotional, which I think is really cool about that show.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. I have a theory on the reason I really like Rick and Morty and shows like that is I believe any type of good content or theater should have its up and downs like a roller coaster. So nothing should be totally ridiculous and funny the whole time. And
No, yeah, I think so
when
too.
things are like funny, but then all of a sudden take like a sad turn or emotional things that play
Right.
with your emotions.
That's another reason I like Harmon Quest is because it's mostly comedy, but then you have those
Then you have
moments
those
like where a
moments
character
you feel attached.
where a character dies, which usually is every episode.
Yeah.
Because they have guest characters.
Yeah.
But and also with like something like Dragon Ball Abridged, it's like mostly funny, but then they
But then
still
they
make the
do-
epic parts epic, and
Exactly.
it's like, oh, cool, like
That is my theory on any good content has that, and it should. And I incorporate that into my own like magic shows and shit. Like I always try to. I keep things funny and light, but then there's moments in the show. One of my consultants called it breaking the show, and that means where things are happening a certain way, and then all of a sudden something changes, and it's like
You're like, that's it. I'm gonna pull your heart out of your body, and put it back in.
we're
Like,
done. Oh no! Whoa! Holy shit!
You just did a card trick.
Yeah, what happened?
That's fucking right. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so I think that about wraps it up for
think
today.
so. It's good.
Let us know what you think in the comments. If you have any thoughts about whether it be about Dan Harmon, lucid dreaming, frisbee guy,
Frisbee. If you want to be turned into a
anybody.
frisbee, let us know.
Is it impressive that we found, or that Dustin found a way to drink water straight from his belly button? I think
you should
so.
try it. I think everyone who watches this should also try
Yep,
it.
you have to participate.
You have to participate.
Because we had to do it.
I think your idea with the straw would have worked really well if we would have had
I
like
was so
a really long,
close.
like multiple long straw.
Dude, I was so close. If I hadn't been like shaking so much because I'm out of shape, I totally would have been able to drink that. I have lost a lot. I've lost like 10.
You have lost weight. It's fine. It's fine. I've
All right.
gained weight, but it's fine.
Well, you lost it and
Food's
then
good.
gained it. So
Food's good.
did you really even lose it?
I'm canceled.
You're like,
I'm canceled. It's
He's
over.
a fucking bastard. All right. Yeah. So have a good one and comment, like, and subscribe.
Thanks for listening,
and-
watching,
yeah.
all that good stuff.
Yep. And we'll see you next time. Peace. Fuck you.